Salinas, Ecuador, one of the more beautiful locations that the ITU get to visit in the year. And the beach that so many people enjoy tanning on would be the workplace for the ITU's top men in the 2018 season. All eyes would be getting the job done in the transition zone and the pre-race focus. Grajales, one of the sport's best runners, would be wearing number 2 on the day. Pereira from Portugal, renowned for his final sprint ability and when he is at peak fitness. And one of the biggest fields to start a World Cup race. The beach format, a little bit unique, although ITU do have all formats. Generally, they're off of pontoon, and those who have the opportunity to train and race near the ocean often have a bit of an opportunity and a benefit. Austin Hyman from the United States, one of the top swimmers in the early stages of the 750-meter swim. A past world junior champion, Hyman to the left, wearing number 64, and he would come out of the water along with Taylor Reed and a group of other athletes very tightly bunched together to get out onto that 20-kilometer bike ride. Taylor Reed, the man who won the Under-23 World Championships in the Gold Coast, continuing to try to get points in the 2018 season. And a very large group of men would leave the transition zone heading out onto the bike course. Having athletes 4 or 5 wide, always an indication that the pace is not quite as fast as one might like. And as they headed back and forth along the beach area, a few minor breakaways to try, and one crash would take down 5 or 6 of the men and put them out for the balance of the day. You could see the carnage on the pavement as the men would try to assess whether or not their bikes and bodies would allow them to get back into the race. Meanwhile, up front, the pace continued, realizing that the 5-kilometer run would likely be the deciding factor in Salinas Triathlon. A few small breakaways occurred in the late stages of the 20-kilometer bike ride, but in the end it was always going to come down to the 5-kilometer run, and with some of the sport's best runners in the field, a great opportunity to see how far under 15 minutes these men would have to run to win the race. David Castro was just in our picture, the man who won Salinas in 2016. And as they headed out onto the 5K run, at least a dozen men had the ability to run roughly 14:30. Castro, Pereira, Messias, all in the mix in the early stages of the 5-kilometer run. Morgan Pearson from the United States would start to make a bit of a move in the middle. Grajales was off the back, not where he would likely like to be. And as the pace started to pick up, the men would start to fall off the back. Morgan Pearson to the far left, hoping to use his track speed to its full benefit. Castro eventually, however, would keep the pace very rich, and he, along with Pereira, Messias, would start to break up the rest of the field. Out onto the final 200 meters, it would be David Castro from Spain, the man who won that course 2 years before, would claim it again in Salinas. Some athletes just love courses. Messias across the line in second, Pereira in third, but a very excited David Castro would be emotional at the finishing line, realizing it had been a long time since he had had another victory on the circuit.
2 years ago in Salinas, this is my first victory, and the last 2 years after the one here, 2 years terrible for me, bad results. I can run well. Return here, I am very happy. I don't believe. Thanks for my family, for my coach. Is together in the bad moments.